6:10 p.m. now in Abu Dhabi. It should be 7:40 in India. Today is 30th of August 2025, and today's topic of discussion is humanity and artificial intelligence. So there is some questions in the group we have received, and today we'll discuss on all those topics. So I think most of the questions submitted, posted by Taposh, and then one question, Shraddhanjali. Yeah, so I think Shraddhanjali, she is now traveling. So Taposh, we received your question. So now I just wanted to confirm, you like me to give the general part of artificial intelligence first, then we go to the specific questions, or you?
Yeah, that will be better.
Okay,
for the benefit of all. Yeah.
Good. So then we'll go. Then let us divide it in two parts. First half we'll discuss about the artificial intelligence, this pros and cons, and what it does, and as per the means basically this is the what is there scientifically. Understand that first. Then we'll go to the assessment and impact part and question. Then it will be easier to answer and correlate those questions easily.
Yes.
Fine. So we'll now go into the general. Shagatika, welcome. So we'll go into the general part of it. So artificial intelligence is basically a branch of computer science dedicated to creating computers, programs, and other replicate human thinking. Whatever the way the logical analysis, what human being can do, and this artificial intelligence can do that kind of tasks. And then some AI programs can learn from their past, analyzing complex set of data and improve their performance without the help of humans or to refine their programming. So they have this like self-learning capability, but those capabilities are little advanced, but anyway, it can have that. So, and it is now artificial intelligence is very common in both business and everyday life. We'll go into the little detail of the point wise. So now that so every day it is the main purpose of AI is to make our whatever we do human to make our jobs easier, like to help us. Then like it is working like some kind of assistant, intelligent assistant. So, and computer companies that use AI streamline their production processes, project gains and losses. There are advantages why some companies and groups or the people, they have chosen to go for the artificial intelligence. And this is the background. We'll go now into detail of the advantages, disadvantages, and then we'll go into the areas where it will be what are the risks involved and what the impact part of it. It is what I will say now. It is all available in the net. I'm not generating on my own. It is not a discussion. We just addressing the points first available, then we'll go to the analytical part. First we'll analytical part logically, then we'll see the impact from our the humanity point of view, and then at the end I will give some spiritual aspects of it. Maybe those can be given as a part of answering those questions. So let us go ahead with whatever the things I have collected. So it is not created by me. I'm just, we'll go through the points, what the scientist has already, find it out, and they have summarized or collected different information. So I'll go through that first before we giving our comments. Okay, so to understand the volume of artificial intelligence, that is, there is analysis done about any business, anything, any new technology, there is a projection, how much will be the value of that. And it is the value of artificial intelligence, and it be expected the global AI market value by 2027, like 2 years from now, is 267 billion US dollars. That's what the estimate is. I'm just saying what is reported into the net, yeah. And it says that it is the expected total contribution of AI to the global economy by 2030 will be 15.7 trillion US dollars. So it's quite a huge amount what has been projected and studied. You know, there are a lot of professional the companies and I mean professional organizations what they do the market and projections and things like that. I'm just quoting from them only. So this is about just to understand the business impact of AI, and then we'll go into the advantages and disadvantages, because anything new comes are having its pros and cons. So we'll go first the point wise. What is the pros and cons? It is not me. It is as the analysts that they have said here. So we'll go point wise so that we can streamline our discussion when it comes. Okay. So first is the advantages of artificial intelligence, that why these things has been adopted to start with. Somebody wants to join. Okay. The advantages is the first point is about reduction in human error. Like, that human is error, we call it. There are a lot of places some accident can happen, something loss can happen because of human error. Just like maybe there is some car driver is just slept on the wheel, the steering, and car met with an accident. This is the kind of human error. Like the human has to undergo all these kind of things, the fatigue and decision making issues and things like that. So any error, like what is a human error factor, can be reduced if that area aspect can be dealt with the artificial intelligence. Yeah. So then it goes to the next point is about enhanced decision making. Okay, decision making, everybody has to do some kind of decision making based on our own ability to analyze the data. All the businesses, this is the pie chart, bar chart, and trend analysis, and so on and so forth thing. So those are all data-driven decision making. So our human being, we have a capacity. We cannot process some kind of huge amount of data. So, but if it is an artificial intelligence, they have got a capability to process huge amount of data, which can be used in the decision-making process. So their decision will be more logical and more accurate than the human. Not all the areas, by the way, but only which is data-driven decision-making, so that they can process huge amount of data, and based on which they can, recommend some certain kind of decisions, which will be, more accurate and more appropriate than if the human being takes tell that. Third point, they're saying that it is some area that we humans do the part of activity which is high risk, and if AI has been put into action, then that risk can be minimized. In fact, the risk can be zero. Yeah. What are those? Some example of that, like some diffusing a bomb. So suppose a bomb squad personnel, if it is used like a robots and AI kind of thing, that diffusing a bomb, going to the space where there is issue with oxygen and the gravity and thing like that. So that can be controlled in this area, or maybe exploring very deep part of the ocean where it is very difficult for the human being to go and survive longer hours into the below the sea. It needs special equipment and suit and things like that. But if all those areas, something like I work in oil and gas, there are some area which is high HSE, health, safety, and environmental risks. Suppose there is a release of hydrogen sulfide, H2S. That area is highly risky. If some human being is exposed for even a minute, you can die. Yeah, these kind of gases. So those kind of elements, those kind of areas, or say maybe the nuclear industry where the high radiation is there, or even after some kind of some nuclear disaster, rescuing and all, that can be used kind of AI driven kind of thing, whether they can make the decision, saving people from there, or in the middle of fire, etc. So those risks where traditionally the humans are exposed to the high risk, they can, by using this artificial intelligence, that there can be some solutions which will be beneficial for us. So this is the part of the advantages. Now, okay. Now, next is about what the analysts are saying. It is 24/7 availability. So if there is a human is doing some job, so that of course the humans need to take rest, and maybe 8 hours, 9 hours work, maybe 10 hours work. They have to, take rest and take a break for the day or something like that. But if there's that particular job has, driven by this AI, and then there's a possibility of using it round the clock availability. So, or maybe this way also, maybe because it is 24/7 available, maybe the shift, the people that work in the shifts and all that, they need not to take the shifts, and just like overall supervision, they can do it. I'm not going to, we'll come back to the question of what will happen to those people and their job, etc. That will come later. I'm just saying, but if it is applied, then there is availability can be 24/7, and they can be available because they need not to take some coffee break, lunch break, or take leave at the end of the hour and go home, etc. That may not be needed for them. So that is the logic here. Okay, next is like the digital assistants. Like many of the companies, they need to interact with a lot of users. So you can say that customer care and these kind of things, and because every customer, they have certain element of their own unique the features, and they have their own association with the company. Maybe there is some history to it. That particular customer may have some kind of preferences and all those things. So any human is interacting with this kind of customers, that the customer care professional, that person, the executive will not have all the data available at the time of interacting it. Yeah? So because you have to give them immediately some advice or solution or something like that. So if that is AI is brought into that, some they call digital assistants, so they can deliver content based on the requests, or some of the requests may be also new to the professional there. But as I said, they don't have all the data available all the time with the person who is interacting on phone or something. Yeah. So, but that AI can take care of a huge amount of the workload, and very quickly give the solution based on, it can survey or scan through a lot of things, and they can give the right solution for the right the client, the requester. So that is the advantage here. Okay, so next one is the so new inventions. So see, every this is something like that. Say, suppose the self-driving cars. So, and these kind of things, like where the new invention AI can be a what is called game changer, like some kind of as for example self-driving car, or like transportation systems, or there are even that maybe some kind of education system which has been AI based technologies are used, that can be new method can be developed which will be beneficial the humanity, or maybe something like a traffic control or this kind of thing. So they can develop some new techniques where this can be useful for the humanity. So new way of dealing things can be developed by using the AI. So there is a big possibility there. And then another advantage was so unbiased decisions. So unbiased decisions means if the human is involved, suppose it is some government department or applications they receive. So if the human being is, suppose a loan application, yeah, in a bank. So if the human is there, so they will have certain kind of bias, whatever. They check the background and they may like or dislike the person or something. They can have that particular person is not in a good mood on that day, and and it comes to the table or his or her laptop, open the application, and that may be rejected, and there is some element of bias is possible because it's a part of the human nature. But if it is a process through just this kind of artificial intelligence, and that will be unbiased because it will be just check the data and applicable criteria. If they meet the criteria, it will be done. And if it is not, it will say no. So there is no some kind of bias or favoritism or unnecessarily creating blocks. These things, what is practically it is seen in the real world. So that can be minimized or bypassed altogether if it is those kind of decisions and taken by the AI, by using AI. And of course, just like the self-driving car, etc., what we have used the automation. So there are many industries where you need a lot of coordination is required by the different group of teams and things like that. And suppose it is a manufacturing floor and they need a certain kind of the flow, certain kind of speed and certain kind of things. Means if some area, some section, suppose there are 5 different activities need to be done to make certain things, certain item, but one group is slower, then that will create a backlog because other will be idle and they cannot create it. So the speed and this efficiency cannot happen all the time. Human beings cannot operate in that level all the time. Or sometimes if it is also the human, they get bored with something, they don't concentrate much, and all those kind of things that may create some kind of like an issue for this kind of group work. In those cases, there may be automation, may be the solution, because it will speed, everything will be synchronized, so there will be no delay, no fast delivery, neither slow backlog. Both can be controlled, by using this AI. So the automation is another area where it will found very much useful. And also AI for our own day-to-day, the work applications, it already started using many daily applications, like using some like a Google Maps or Alexa or these kind of things. Suppose the maps, you have that which area has a more traffic, so you choose the which is the earliest way towards the destination. Those kind of real time, they can analyze and give you the suggestions. And so those applications already were doing, already were having these kind of things. So the daily applications are, many, even now it is going to the certain level, more advanced one is they can make a call for you, they can book an appointment with the doctor for you. It respond to some email of which is having normal routine-based characteristics. So all this, there are applications, daily applications have already started. Also, they can check maybe some daily weather conditions, and you have a travel plan, and they can advise whether it would be good one particular day to go to a particular place and something like that, and things like that. So whatever be daily requirements, those can be analyzed, and that can be put it into by this AI. So this area also they can be utilized. And we already said that AI can be used for some area which is, zero risk condition, as I give an example, the bomb squad and etc. So high risk cases. By also AI can be helpful if it is a very complicated, cases. Like if it is very complicated and multiple things need to be, considered, and then those also complicated case also it can be given to AI for, doing it. They have got the ability to screen it and prioritize it and things like that, and those can be given. The AI can be given the solution to that, where the jobs are normally complicated for normal human being. So suppose, say human, they have individually, you have got our own physical abilities. Somebody may be having certain kind of disease or some ailment, and there are certain tasks never done before. Suppose you are visiting a theme park. Okay, there are different kinds of rides there. Yeah? I'm just giving some example. So it can tell you that based on your capability, which rides will be safe for you. Okay, it's a complicated matter. You need not to go through and then find out, because as such the ride is safe, but your condition may not be suitable to go into that. So who will suggest you that kind of thing? It's a complicated issue. And you cannot blindly try and then fall into something which is, not really warranted, and this kind of thing. So if it is a complicated, different parameters are needed, that it can give you some kind of solution. So AI can be helpful in that. Yeah. Also, some medical applications. There is a huge potential in the medical applications for. It is starting from the diagnosis and the treatment and even the different trials, clinical trials. They can accelerate and accumulate data, or maybe it can access to the huge amount of, not necessarily every time you have to go into the huge volume of the human to undergo those kind of trials. They have a tool to analyze different type of things on the maybe historical data and all those. They can compile and they can say that they can give. It can arrive at the conclusion much earlier. Whether it is a diagnosis, whether it is a treatment, or even the test results. Different type of test results. Suppose you have an X-ray. Yeah. So some human being to check the X-ray and find out if there is any issues there. It needs a human ability to check exactly where the issues are, and it may take some time. Maybe that AI can do simple scanning of that. Maybe few seconds it can find out this area is the particular that say X-ray report has an issue, an X-ray plate has an issue, and things like that. So they can identify it very quickly that about conclusion about the test or scan or this kind of results. So those are huge potential there on the medical applications. Yeah. So we have already talked about the enhanced efficiency, productivity. We touched upon that as a some kind of production floor, etc. It can be in other areas also. Like the different companies, based on, of course, that the type of industry, it can lead to analyzing many things, even for as a agricultural activity. It can lead to faster production cycle, reduced operational cost, and higher output quality, and all those kind of things that by studying, and it can come to some kind of optimal results, which will be basically enhancing the efficiency and the productivity of the business. And enhanced the safety and fraud detection. So that is also the interesting thing. A lot of the hacking and online fraud and things are happening. So it lies with how quickly you can identify this is a fraud, and this is a, safety may be breached somewhere. So if AI has been deployed, they can, detect the possible fraud or, any safety breach very quickly. Then like immediate action can be taken, and maybe it can be stopped altogether based on the feedback. So this is also another area that AI is being recommended, very strongly is applied into different systems already. So, just to share with you one, I was just to pay some kind of toll tax. There is some, in Dubai, there is something called shalik, means if you pass through that, you have to pay certain things, the toll. So it is automatic. I have a sticker on my car, so it can detect it and deduct it, some 4 dirham every time you pass through that area. Pass through that highway. So time to time, I have to top up that. Of course, then I got a message that your fund is low. So what I did was I just searched in the Google. I said Shalik repayment. So then it opened a page, and I have filled my card detail and things like that. How much you wanted to pay, this much. Then I gave my credit card detail and say click, and then it said OTP. So I just checked and then gave OTP. And after that, immediately I got some message from my bank. This particular what you have authorized is just like a auto pay to some system. Yeah? So that you authorize, it is really you authorize this, then it is okay. Otherwise, we are canceling that card altogether. Just few minutes, I got this. My card is cancelled. That particular transaction has been stopped. Then I realized that particular because I need not to pay every time, maybe once in 6 months or something. I put some amount of money. So only once in 6 months I open and Google search Shalik pay or repayment, and then only it comes. So that particular website was a fraudulent website in such a way that I searched with Shalik pay, and it directly, there are different link comes. Maybe I didn't, click the genuine one, but there are a lot of options came. One of them was the fraud. So I did all those kind of things. But see how fast my bank can detect that. This is because they see the pattern. Yeah? So pattern, because somebody, if he is going to another kind of pay system that you are authorizing it in future, any kind of pay can be done from this card through that particular system. That is authorization OTP that I entered in there. So in future, they can take money from there. Yeah. Anyway, so this kind of fraud detection, it is almost instantaneously done because of this AI. Because otherwise, if it is my personal, this error, it could have been, after few of the people claim some money from my credit card, then only I will come to know, then I report, and it's too late by that time. Yeah. So this kind of things is a very good thing. Fraud detection can be very, very quick, as I given my example also. Okay. Like improving human workflows. So what happens is when we humans, we do certain things, some work processes, and there may be some kind of built-in inefficiencies or unidentified areas, or maybe some pattern we follow that may not be ultimately the very good for the overall, working efficiency. So if an AI has been put it into that, or the whole, the workflow, then it can identify some area which can be not much efficient, and it can also suggest improvement. So that way the whole activity will improve. They are not doing the activity, they are analyzing it. How people do this, the people are doing their work, and then maybe using some camera and all those kind of things, micromotion studies and all those kind of things, they can suggest some improvement, which can ultimately do what nobody has thought. So maybe those area it can be helpful. Then like enhanced customer experience. I quickly touch upon in another point, give an example, and here they are saying that personalized recommendation and individual preference are behavior. That time was a call center, somebody asking for something. Yeah. Here, the same thing, it can be personalized recommendation can be given by the individual preference and behavior. Already you see when we do kind of searching anything, based on our own searches and whatever we bought earlier, they are already giving certain kind of recommendation. No, you can buy this, you can buy that. They know our interest. So, and accordingly, we can, the personalized recommendation they can give. Maybe it will help us to avoid time in searching and all those things. We can accept or reject the recommendation, but at least it helps us. If I'm interested in something, certain topic, or certain, maybe I'm planning to go on a holiday, maybe I'm trying to see the hotel and all. You see a lot of advertisements comes into the same area, or maybe other things, or you can go for this tour, that tour, or you can have this hotel, that hotel, all those kind of things. So it is basically helping in that way for the recommend personalized case. Of course, they have the financial interest, and maybe that is the driving force behind it. But for the customer point of view, you will have whatever based on your past purchase or browsing history, or maybe your demography, which area you belong. So suppose they are recommending some restaurant, so they know where you stay. So in that area, they will give those kind of things, which is popular in that, they can do that. So those are the kind of things that AI that has been utilized. Okay, so now also there is AI can be utilized for the smarter surveillance. Yeah. See, all we have the surveillance system, the CCTVs and all those kind of things. It can be used in the home safety or office safety, or area safety, or many other things that this AI means the security systems are there. And there are, you can say, the many movies, they also show that sometimes the person who is monitoring, just one person, there are maybe 20 TV screens, and the person cannot concentrate on each and every TV screens when security in the security room. Or maybe it is a departmental store, so there are multiple cameras are there, then the one security guy is looking into all those kind of things. So rather than depending upon the judgment of that particular person, so if there is an AI system is involved, then any abnormal behavior or abnormal activity, abnormal movement, they can highlight. They can highlight, and then those area only, then that somebody can intervene and check the security if anything has truly anything has gone wrong there or not. So they can take the proactive action into that area, corrective action or anything, the prevent anything or major thing to going to happen. So that way it will help us. So, okay, the next point, they're saying bias and fairness. To some extent, I have already made that point that when AI is there, it is a fair, means it is given based on the criteria, it will follow the criteria. It will not, they will never use the quote the man, quote the rule. Rule is same for everywhere. So that way it is, fairness can be achieved. And this is or human bias, what we discussed earlier. That is not been influencing this kind of decision makings. So that way the fairness can be established by using this. And needless to say that overall all those things has been done. If the AI is deployed, there will be certainly that there will be cost savings involved here because of that. If something improved efficiency by time or by making the job simpler, etc. So there will be some cost savings, particularly the businesses which has got a repetitive task. I mean, same task going again and again. Like as I mentioned earlier, it can go to 24/7, same speed, same high efficiency. It can do that. So their cost savings will be much, much higher. So, and maybe also there's a data entry or scheduling or customer service and all those kind of things, that will be the huge amount of cost saving to those kind of businesses they're concerned. And also that the cost saving for high risk businesses, as I mentioned, it is like going to a hazardous zone, or like where human cannot operate fully. Those kind of, there'll be, because a lot of cost involved in keeping the people safe. Those will not be that kind of that will not that important, and that way the cost will be saved. So this increase in workforce productivity, see, one was about that we already discussed about the productivity in the like a manual activity, like a productivity into manufacturing, so floor. Same, it can be workforce productivity can be increased if it is a blue collar job, so it is like something like somebody's office jobs also, the productivity can be increased, like a prioritizing task and the scheduling meetings and automating routine processes and this kind of things. So, or maybe it something needs multiple approval, it will go automatic to different people and things like that, automatic reminders, automatic follow-up, and this kind of thing. So in office work also, not necessarily the workforce productivity into the the factories and the floor shop, but also in the office also, it can be utilized to enhance the efficiency of that particular office. And then number 20 here is saying the personalization. So you can have you have your own, develop your own personalization preference and all those kind of things. So maybe you receive a lot of emails and calls and things like that. It can personalize which type of thing you like to receive, which is not, which type of things, the mails you like to see, which type of things you like, a lot of advertisements and things like that, which type of ads you like to see, or which type of music you like to listen to, so that it can recommend for you. So this kind of personalization tool, it can be used, the AI can be used as that kind of personalization tool as well. So this is about that. And then, of course, the better decisions based on this. You can vast amount of data very quickly and accurately. It can serve to you, and it can give its own recommendations. And another very important aspect, which is normally news, a lot of expertise and something still not very well done, that is the predicting the trend. It's a big thing in the business, because every business decision based on the trend analysis, that where we are going, whether we have to do any kind of things, and in future, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, where we will end up. So this is the complex kind of things, and it needs to consider a lot of parameters based on our business parameters, based on the market parameters, based on the capabilities. And the many in the business, we do some SWOT analysis kind of things, strength, weaknesses, and threats and opportunities. So all those parameters, those kind of analysis, that can be done. They put it into some tool, business specific tools, so that the future trend can be analyzed very, very accurately. Normally it is done by the top level, the management, to do that. Based on that, the business decisions are taken. But predicting future trends, market trends, and technology trends, and all those kind of things, AI can be deployed into do all those kind of things. And personally, I also like another aspect, because when predicting trend is not a big deal. Maybe there are some, say, 15 parameters are there and different parameters fluctuate. Some of them may be market driven, like you don't know which direction it will go. And suppose, okay, let me give some example to understand the complexities. So now all over the world, there is a lot of things like the business parameters. You don't know, which aspects. Suppose in India, there is a lot of things, different countries, different trade deals are going on. Some parameter change, some country change their rules. What will be the impact? Where it will be the impact? If it happens, then where will do stand? It's a very complex matter. Yeah. Which of the areas will be get affected and what needs to be done to correct those things? So this is a very complex kind of parameter. If we use AI, then not only the actual, the cases, but some like a concepts, what is called hypothetical cases, can also be studied. Suppose you are studying some businesses and say, okay, if suppose those kind of things, if say oil price goes into say $120 per barrel, how then which of the area will be affected? It has not reached 120, but if it is, then which area will get mostly affected? And how the different type of things will send. So these are complex things. So those are the kind of parameters you are giving it as a hypothetical scenarios. And it can quickly do the analysis and give you, under that scenario, this will be your model. So it will be very, very helpful to have the different types of model just by changing certain things, changing some parameters or something interdependent parameters. So one, you change one, then others also get affected. So all those things can be put into in your model, and that can be done. So in this area also, it can be highly effective, this AI. Next is problem solving. So that is like there are many places, there are multiple variables, and there are huge data available. Yeah. So as for example, so I'm coming from oil and gas industry, I can give certain things. Suppose a particular pipeline is operating for say maybe 40 years, and last maybe some repair has been done 23 years back, another one 17 years back, and then multiple things happen in between. And then again, 8 years back, another pipeline came into it. And then after 2 years from then we change that, the temperature of the fluid inside and things like that. So a lot of issues. So now you need to take a decision what to do with it. Can we now somebody saying we need to put more pressure into that because something new has come, we need to put it into the pipeline. It becomes a lot of parameters. Condition of the pipe and the original condition, what was designed is changed. And now you have to put more flow into it. Is it possible without jeopardizing things? This kind of problems, if it is given to AI, they can analyze all this kind of things. And again, just the point before, I put the different type of model it can pose based on the hypothetical scenarios, and it can be, very much eye-opening to give different options, not only one recommendation. They can say, if you go with option A, these are the pros and cons, option B, these are the pros and C. Then let the management take the decision, okay, let us go with this because it looks good because pros and cons are clearly understood. So it is a knowledgeable decision making, like we fully understand the pros and cons, and that way it can solve in many problems in that way, because all the data large data sheets and the historical data 40 years they can analyze, maybe within a very short amount of time, and it can give exactly what is there. Not only that, it can also be linked with certain similar problem has been done somewhere else in the world. And how they solved it, maybe those kind of data they can feed, and then alternatives can be suggested. So problem solving also become very useful tool if the AI is being utilized there. All right, so that goes into the list of advantages, what I collected, what the experts are saying. Now we'll go into the disadvantages. Okay. So disadvantages are some area. What I found is the same point has been written as a advantages and same as a disadvantage. One of them is this: see, lack of creativity. What they are saying is, even though they can, artificial intelligence can use for the inventions and things like that, but they cannot have the intrinsic creativity like humans. Maybe that out-of-box thinking will be difficult for AI, because AI will be just repeating whatever it has learned, whatever data available and things like that. Something is completely not available so far. It will be difficult for create that kind of things by AI. That's why these experts are saying. So just that reminds me of, I think few days back there was something, I think social media, they were saying it has been, the question was asked, can you create a storyline of, something. So they said, okay, there is one person who was in the village and gone and meet with some girl and then married and happily ever after, thing like that. So what they are saying is, this is not a truly creative thing. This is the pattern of the stories. Many like fairy tales and all, they have this theme. They just see what is mostly available, similar type of stories, what is the mostly available theme, they make that theme as a new creative thing for idea for a story. Just few days back I read it some. Anyway, so this points makes that it is not that creativity is not what we human think as a creative. We have the huge the creative ability, and the lack of creativity, it is not. There's a limited creativity there. And lack of emotional intelligence. So it cannot judge the emotional impact or something, because it is truly, it delivers things based on the data. Certain element can be, that by like a language, etc., can be taught, but language not to use. But emotional intelligence to deliver a particular things, suppose that say medical, advices and thing like that. So this customer care thing, maybe something may be sensitive to a particular audience or particular customer. So if there is a human being, they can know that this topic should not be, we should not, bring this way, we should not project it. So suppose, I'm just saying that suppose it can, after the analysis, it can say, okay, you have a cancer and it is a stage 4 cancer and it is, and it has, you have life expectancy is 6 months. Okay. So maybe, means if it is a human being, they could have put the same thing in a different way. But those kind of emotional intelligence, maybe it is, yet to develop. I'm saying it, this area, because it is a personal specifics to some person. Something may be emotional issue, something may not be. They can accept any kind of so-called bad news or something, or some of the way that has been put, somebody may get angry with the way they approached. There is no apparent reason. The same word is may be used for others. It may not be offensive, but to some it will be offensive. So in some cultures, certain words are very offensive. So so those kind of sensitivities, unless until it is built in and going to that level, then that will be an issue. So that it is not that way. And so this kind of part will be the AI, that is a drawback, means unless until it is developed to that extent. Next, their point, disadvantage, they say encourage human laziness. Okay. Many things if AI do, then human, they become more lazy. Already, there are some studies saying that the mobile phone came and most of the people are addicted and stuck to it. They're ignoring their jobs and stuck to this mobile phone. And that if the AI systems can take over more responsibilities, and then individuals will become dependent for their any knowledge gathering, any kind of activity, and any even AI can be developed to reply the messages as well. So you wanted to get in touch with the friends, at least in that social media, you can take that to get in touch with people. But AI will take over then automatically, and that you will not know to whom to friends. I'm just giving for example and things, but it will become lazy. I said, okay, I'll put some kind of logic. It will tell if so and so write something, reply this way, and so they will reply that way. But what I'm saying is the individual human, you will miss that. Reply will go, no doubt about it, or call will go, but there will be no such thing. Anyway, also it raises the privacy concerns, like there is a lot of personal data collection and storage, and this issue is becoming a very, very strong issue. It collects so much of data, this AI, and it may be maybe we have to be concerned about our own privacy, because so much is available into the system, or some part of the. Suppose I have a certain medical condition, I don't want other people to know about it. I'll not be able to hide it. Something or other, it will come to some system, and it may be I may not be comfortable in sharing those kind of things. The next point they're saying leads to job displacement. Yes, there are many people will lose their job, particularly the industries where there is a reliant on the routine and repetitive tasks or the manual tasks, and these things will go. Even there was study done that engineers who develop coding, their jobs will be at risk because the coding can be done by AI. Anyway, so these are the specifically for the manufacturing, retail, customer service, and medical diagnosis, or this kind of area there will be some kind of job reduction for sure. But there was some study done. They said that more job will be created, which will be based on AI. They can create also those kind of jobs. So, but the issue they are saying is that type of job will be lost, and the type of job will be created. They need a very different skill set. So means either if there is a massive training or whole way of modifying and skill set development is not there, then it is just a number. Yes, certain more X amount of job lost, maybe X amount of more job will be created, but this X and that is not the same type of people cannot be used there. So certain percentage of people, unless until they develop themselves, reskill themselves, they will lose their job. Yeah? So that is the risk. Then the next point is about over dependence on technology. Yeah. So so many of our own decision making, we are leaving it on the technology. It may not be the healthy practice overall. So okay, we need to use the technology, but it does not mean that we have to do day-to-day everything that otherwise could have been done by us very easily. We are still leaving it to them, to technology, so it is over dependence. Then it is that the development concerns, like if the AI tools have been developed too fast, then the regulatory framework or ethical guidelines, then there is a gap. Means some technology can be used against unethical way, or because regulatory framework has not done yet. Means the car has been developed before the traffic laws. So if the car with do some kind of hit somebody and you don't have a law to support that, what will happen in that case? So that will be a problem. So they're saying that there is a chance of mismatch, that AI comes past the law, a regulatory framework, then it is delayed, and there is a gap and there is a risk there. Then also it is one of the major issue of this AI is it's a huge amount of power requirement. It is like I was just studying one report. It says that AI data center. It by 2028, each AI data center will need about 1 gigawatt of power requirement. Like, the hydroelectric plants and all the megawatt range. Yeah? So each center will take 1 gigawatt. It's a huge, things. And then not only that, they said the more and more AI comes into that, by 2030, that each center will need 8 gigawatt power energy. So means you have to generate that kind of energy from somewhere, and you have to feed that. And there's some global estimate. They say that by 2027, it is 68 gigawatt is the total to provide to the the data centers, which will increase by 2030. It's 327 gigawatts. I'm just giving what the analysts they are saying. 327 gigawatts by 2030 is a huge power, huge energy demand only for this AI technology and the data centers, the computational purposes and storage of the data and things like that, because they need cooling and all many other things. So huge. So that is one of the major issue. And of course, it has got its own environmental impact, like carbon emissions, and so it is quite a big challenge, environmental challenge, energy challenge, and energy security is also an issue there. So means if we want to attack some data center, best thing is to get rid of its power supply. So you see that now Ukraine and Russia war, they're attacking on the power supply stations. So this AI, the data centers will be vulnerable to that. So if they just cut the power supply, and that will impact heavily onto that. So that is a disadvantage there. Okay, next disadvantage is interesting. This is lack of common sense. See, common sense, it's also jokingly said, is very uncommon. Common sense, the most uncommon thing for the human. But that same common sense, maybe the AI systems will be based on the reasoning and the data. So sometimes this common sense is maybe it is lacking. That reminds me one story. I don't know whether it is true or not, but they said a very intelligent scientist, very high level of this thing. He has been asked to design a theater hall. So they collected all the data where that particular theater hall, how many adults go there and how many children go there, the maximum height and age of children, and a lot of data. Then they designed, there are 2 entry gates. One is the bigger size for the adults and the smaller size door for the children. So that is funny, because the common sense is the bigger size door the children also can use, or you make both the doors as the normal doors so that people have an option to which way to go. Yeah. Anyway, this is the issue. If it is too much of data driven, too much scientific, then it loses that kind of common sense that which has been reflected here. So that is an issue, even though it is not a big one. But yes, there are certain things what human can very easily take, but it will be difficult for machine to understand it that way. Then interpretability and transparency, so like there are many AI models and algorithms and things like that. See, they study a lot of things and finally give an outcome, but their decision-making process, and it is saying that is not easily interpretable and not very transparent either. Yeah. So it cannot be backtracked into from where this kind of decision has come. That is an issue, particularly though in the legal framework, or if something goes wrong, then it will be difficult to investigate and find out. Yeah, that's what. There is another point coming, which is the legal. Okay. Like also it says that lacks human-like intelligence and adaptability. Adaptability means you developed it for a certain job, but now maybe you wanted to use it for something related, but not exactly the same job. Like a workforce, you can train a particular new machine has come, you can train it, and the same people can be working there. But if a particular, the program has been developed, a particular set of parameters and things like that, so it will be very difficult to adapt it into something else. So you have to develop something new altogether for that one. So that the flexibility is not like human. They have that area is a little bit the issue there regarding AI. Okay, so those are the disadvantages. Also, there are a few points about the ethical considerations, like unfair outcomes due to preloaded data. Means the data is used by, of course, what is available in the, the net or available in the system. If initially the preloaded data are unfair, then it can give like unfair things. Suppose a particular product. Yeah. So a product, and somebody like to buy the product, it goes into that asking that whether should I buy it or not. That the AI system checked all available in the internet about that product. So mostly what happens is people write their feedback when they're unhappy. There's a lot of complaints about that product. But particularly suppose some mobile phone. Yeah. So there may be some 50 people have written about that, their feedback about why they are unhappy. Maybe some damage has come, not delivered in time and something, a lot of things. But those people are happy. They have not writing there. Maybe few of them. The salesman say, please write something, few of them. So maybe that particular phone is a good phone. Maybe the phone has been purchased by maybe 100,000 people. Out of that, 5,000 people have been given something of not happy. Yeah. And only 1,000 people have been given, they are very happy. Rest, say 94,000, they have not given any feedback at all. Means there is no problem. But if you deploy AI into that, they see that there are 5,000 adverse, opinion, only 1,000 favorable opinion. So overall, the reasoning wise, they will give that it is not a good product. So that is called the unfairness coming into the picture here. So it is based on the data, but available into that. So those are the things. Also, the transparency and accountability. This is an issue, but really it's even in the legal cases also, those kind of issues are being brought into, and that will be the what is called. This will be a important thing. As for example, suppose the AI-driven what is called. Something AI-driven instrument has failed. Yeah. So this AI-driven instrument failed, and then how do you I've written it somewhere, but anyway, I'm just not getting it right now. Anyway, let me explain to you what I was the point I'm trying to make. See, a thing is, suppose it is a self-driven car. So that is AI is running it, and that car made an accident. One case has already happened. They met with an accident. Now, to whom it will be, they're legally binding. The the organization who has developed AI, or who has written the code, or who at the company who has bought that and put it into the car, or the user of that car who bought that car, or it is the road where it was, the condition of the road and whatnot. Who will be the responsible for that? In this case, it is very, very complicated, and this goes to that thing that it is not a legal framework has not been done properly. In this case, it will be very difficult to assign the accountability, that who will be the responsible for that particular case. So this is an issue that need to be resolved before it goes into the like legal framework, so that anything comes with it has to be addressed, and proper accountability can be assigned. So this is about the transparency, accountability, and there is a security concerns. We have, I think, already we have says that there is a lot of personal data, and maybe somebody's medical data, how safe they are, and all that nobody knows. Yeah. But how that will be used, whether the person has given their authorization for each and everything, those needs to be addressed. Then autonomy and control. So it is like how much autonomy can be given. It is the AI, it can self-learning, but it has got some limit. It cannot be taken some kind of decisions which will be harmful to the humanity. So like, it cannot like deployed on a taken decision to how to shoot in a killing machine. So it may be a good idea to put it into the war, but if it is a self-driven, that it has to know where to stop, and there should be some kind of intervention. Otherwise, it will go out of it will out of control. And this employment already discussed, and then morality and the responsibility. So this moral aspects and the responsibility, using technology responsibly, this is the part that is still most of the issues we found about these areas, where it is this area, the ethics and morality, this is not very clearly defined into the because it is data driven. So those areas where the human qualities, they can easily, a human can be trained into this, or built-in morality and ethics are involved, which in the decision making, etc. But in the AI, those things will be not there. Anyway, so those are the disadvantages of that, the pros and cons and all those things. So now we completed. Now with this background, let us come to the questions. Okay. So Taposh, you are ready for your questions?
Yes. In that case, should I put it one by one?
Yes, put one by one. So that, because now answer will be brief, because I have already given all the background. Yeah.
Correct. So the first one is this AI revolution is being considered as a much bigger than computer entry revolution, which happened 50 years back. Now, since ages, we see the growth and advancement of technology through years has shaped our modern man. Now, will this trend continue? Or we have the threat that if AI will be leading us to the path of destruction?
Okay, no, that's a good question. See, this as per that all the prediction and the trend analysis, etc., AI is inevitable. It will come. Okay. In the industries, we have given initially the type of projection they made, the business, the profitability and other areas, flexibility and all those things. There are a lot of justification. And in general, also the trend shows it will come, like 50 years back, as you mentioned, the computer came. Similar way, this AI is going to come, and it will go into the different industries for sure. Yeah. So now the second part of the question is, will it be harmful? It depends upon how we use it. So that means all the disadvantages and all that need to be addressed. Otherwise, it will go into some level which it cannot be controlled. Like, see, overall the strategy is, as long as the human intelligence is the boss and AI is a servant, it will be fantastic. It is a very good servant, but it is a worse boss. But we have to demarcate where it will cross that threshold. It becomes a boss, then it will be dangerous for the humanity. So that part of the thing, we have to take the control in our hand. Not everything can be given. So that checks and balances we need to do. That is true for any system. We have to do that. The checks and balances, we cannot leave that, and then it will become a destructive. So already there are some kind of studies, and they said which are the area where AI should not be, implemented fully. There are certain because ethical concerns, because of their safety concerns. As for example, even though say the medical, the treatment and all those kind of things, yes, artificial will be helpful, but completely get rid of the doctors may not be a good idea. Means it is, if it comes to that area, we have to stop that. And I feel that it will automatically happen because not 100% automatic, 100% artificial intelligence based thing people will accept. Just check for yourself. If you go there and say there is no doctor, but it will be diagnosis will be done, and if there is a surgery will be done by the AI, will you agree? Or will you be undergone that surgery? Even the self-driving car, automatic cars, we are still not okay with it. Technology may be there, but we may not choose to, use that 100% self-driving car. Yes, it will be those areas where it is on the track, means there is a limitation, like a train. Yes, train can be done. Even the flights also can be done. But if it is a busy road in India, some place where there is some child may come in front of it, some dog may come or whatever, the back side, some car will be too close, etc. In those kind of situations, we don't think that we can 100% rely on this kind of technology. Even the technology is available, but that cannot be used in that sense. Or maybe some road is flooded with water. If it is, as I said, if it is a track, particular thing, even the shipping also can be done. It means it will go in a particular track, and there is a lot of things, lot of cushion around there. Those kind of areas that can be okay, like a what is called the metro railway and this kind of things, maybe. But if it's 100% artificial intelligence controlled normal things, cars and all, I don't think we are there yet. So we cannot trust that nothing can happen into that. And so based on that, what I basically saying, that will be automatically controlling the harmful part of it. Because people will not choose it to go into that level, that 100% autonomy level. And that way it will checks and balances on us. Okay.
Yeah, just to add to you is that if we one side is the industry getting affected with this AI getting implemented in each and every corner, I am also thinking about the low-end jobs what we have, just like house cleaning. So today, if you see, we have our housemaid coming and cleaning and all, but there, if you see AI-driven mopping robot, now it is being bought inside a home and it does the job and it goes back to the charging station on its own.
Right.
Now in airport, if you just few days back, I was in the airport and I was there used to be people who used to clean and mop the airport in Abu Dhabi. Now just 2 days back, I went and saw there is a robot moving. And it is doing on its own and nobody is caring. It is doing its job, mopping the floor and cleaning it. Yeah. So these sort of low-end jobs who are not skilled enough to switch to other types of jobs, like for example, the cleaning companies. The job is stereotype job. It's nothing great technical there. Few people hanging on the gondola and then cleaning the whole building. So this can be automated very quickly and there will be a plentiful of people who will be losing jobs.
Yes. No, that is true. Because this job issue is a very much highly in debate right now. But what the other argument they are saying, the same type of job will not be there, but similar type of people may be needed for different types of job which will develop because of AI.
As you said correctly, that the switchover between that from this point to that point may not happen because people will not be upskilled so soon.
Yeah. So this kind of transition that has to be done, in ethical, moral way, and all those kind of things. Like we have to support that group which will be losing job because of that, and we have to have a different mechanism to support them.
Correct, because business anyhow is driven on profits, and if AI is reducing the cost and expenses, that will be an attractive spot for them. So
yes.
So these are the areas which we have to see. Okay, now point number 2. Is it AI over human or human over AI? So upcoming AI versions is indicated because today we have seen the AI is on a lowest version. There are so many other higher versions which are in the making. So today, so upcoming AI version indicates it is AI over human, and that is very too fast paced also.
As I just mentioned, it is my feeling. It will never happen that AI will supersede the human need or human intelligence. Ultimately, it is artificial. It is created by human, applied by human. So it cannot overtake that way. Some instances may be there, few here and there. Like they can create some kind of Frankenstein, but again, it will be put under control. Like similar magnitude of that. And by the way, let me also tell you that so that it doesn't exceed that, so there is something called AI, artificial intelligence impact assessment. So some certain industry or certain particular job area, etc. So there are some, in fact, the ISO, there is a standard, ISO 42001. They have particularly AI impact assessment, like we do in our industry's risk assessment, for any job to do. So it can be, ours is operational risk assessment, the financial banks, they do financial risk assessment and things like that. So there is something called AI impact assessment. And there is I was just going through interesting, they have given 19 criteria to check, suppose some area, suppose the airport, the cleaning thing, So whether to deploy there, they have to do the AI impact assessment. What are the aspects it will go through? Each and every industry, before deploying AI into it, they have to undergo that. And there is an international standard. They need to meet that criteria. So what I'm saying that by those ways, it will not possible that something will be completely haywire and it will be out of control all the time, because it is already brought into certain kind of international system and framework, so that it cannot go like intentionally or unintentionally go beyond control. So it is brought under the control through this kind of elements.
Right now we don't see those, but maybe it is in the making, because what we see from each country, they are very much excited to implement AI. But nobody is talking about rules, ethics, regulations. If manpower is cut, then what is the alternative? I mean, those things are not under discussions to the extent what people are discussing on implementing it.
No, you are right. What I'm saying is, first is the ethical consideration, etc. Those are being that the international standard is issued already. So they need to comply. If suppose I have a company, I wanted to implement AI, I have to undergo that. Like a safety, I'm just constructing a building. I have to take the certificate, environmental clearance, safety clearance, fire clearance, like that. So they have to take those kind of AI thing. They have to take the clearance. So clearance means they have to meet the requirements. So that is a cross checks and balances there. And secondarily, I was mentioning the AI system consumes huge amount of energy. So they say that even the cost benefit analysis, they have to take into consideration those kind of companies, huge amount of cost upfront they have to make to develop the system and their power supply. Okay.
Correct.
That kind of things. So that also may be a controlling factor. Even if it is profitable, if you take just AI, independently. But when you say we call it life cycle cost, like starting from the investment and how much will be there. So maybe all the places it is still not economically viable because of those requirements, additional requirements of this kind of things. And also the troubleshooting. Suppose something goes wrong. So you have to, these are the areas those people, new skill will be developed. You need somebody to cross-check and verify and bring it back to the normalcy. Yeah? So then also you need people again. So this kind of thing. So anyway, but it is still a very initial stage. That is, you are right. Unfortunately, some people will lose the jobs and all those kind of things. But slowly it will mature itself. What I feel that things will mature itself.
Yeah. Point number 3, basically, you have already answered. So that nobody can avoid AI. AI is going to happen. It will eventually happen. So
yes.
You can skip point number 3. Now, point number 4 is something which is more fundamental, and basically my main query is that with AI's initial versions, it appears adding positives to human life, but gradually unfolding, it may hit the basics on which human survives, that is livelihood, superiority of other species, intelligence, etc. Since it is related to human existence, now what is the say from our consciousness? And is there any underlying plan with this development?
The consciousness part I will come later. I will discuss it at the time of the spiritual part.
Okay.
So, but you see, in general, any new system comes, always there is a, like a lot of versions associated with it. Yeah. In this case also, it is not a new thing. In the history, we have seen when the first time the car came, then whoever their livelihood on the horses and the cart and all, then cow, bullock cart, etc., their jobs are at risk. Yeah, so that's there. But we survived it. You know that now we know the full cycle. We know where do we stand, and the population also increases, and maybe some people are still using it, and all those kind of things happen. When first time, in our childhood days, I remember there's a big debate of the terrycloth and the cotton textile.
Yeah.
The polyester shirt and all. There is a lot of things that will be harmful, your skin disease and all those kind of things. It matured itself. Like something to survive is survive, and I don't see polyester, thing now anywhere. Yeah, so it matured itself. So it picks up which has a staying power. It is beneficial, and which is not beneficial. Even though it is cheaper, it has gone from the system. So same thing with like a photography. When the digital came, and slowly we have gone into that. And so earlier we have to use the film photography, and we have to optimize. I still remember the total 36 films are there. The roll, Kodak roll, etc. So when we go to any tour, we have to count that where I will take the photo, so that end of the trip 36 should not exceed, because otherwise where we go for the processing and thing like that. Anyway, so nowadays those have gone, but at the same time the digital flexibility came. You take, instead of 36, people take 1,000. Maybe out of that they delete 200. It's okay. It's still you have. So there are many ways that our culture changed and things changed, and those who have become obsolete and they're really not needed anymore. So some people who were there, maybe they lost their job in the photography industry in that sense. But those who are in the editing and all, they switch to the digital, this kind of things. Yeah. So what I feel is that like in the sea, in our lifetime also, we have seen many technologies coming and going, or maturing, not completely going, but transform into something else. So same here, I think. We have seen that the written letter, the age has gone. So gone with the pros and cons. It's all digital now. The emails and messages. There is nobody writes handwritten a letter there. No post box system. And I think some a year or 2 years back, there was a last telegram sent. That was in the news. There's a last telegram and thing. Anyway, so we have to, in that sense, we have to go with that, the technology, and that is the culture will not be same, and it will change. It will got its own pros and cons, but humanity will adopt that. So that is, I don't think is an issue there.
Correct. So 4, 5, I think 6, 7, all are linked with spiritual questions, basically.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Okay. So I will go to the 5th one. So if we watch closely, we can see too much disruptions in geopolitical arena worldwide in 2025. I mean, even much greater than what we see in the last years or centuries. Added to this is AI, which has now come just within 50 years of the computer entry with a phase of disruption, but in technology. Any intra-connection between these global disruptions with AI coming? Is there any intra-connection within these happenings towards any common goal?
Answer is yes. There will be a lot of changes. Say, suppose weapon and all those surveillance, all those will be driven by AI. Okay. That is no doubt about it. It will come. But again, it will be used by the political will. When the usage will come, it is a control cannot be done in developing the technology and things like that. There is already arms race is there. It's continuing till now. Yeah? Now think of what happened to the nuclear weapons. They developed some 50 years back. Okay. So now whatever the weapon currently, the world is having, the whole earth can be destroyed maybe 50 times. Okay. But these are not being used. Okay. This is used for the showing the power that I can, do that, and, it can destroy any country, anytime, and things like that. Yeah. So here also, so far as the geopolitical issue is there, what I feel is this kind of technology will be used for showing the muscle that I have this technology. Yeah. But it will not be implemented. It cannot be implemented for the obvious reasons. Yeah. If it is implementation is started, then it is the end of the world. That is, nothing will be left. No matter who started it and who used it, and things doesn't matter. Yeah. So ultimately, because of their own survival, humanity will not go to that stage. Ultimately. Yeah. Only risk is there should not be any mad person to start that, and that's all. Okay. So that need to be controlled, not the technology. Technology will be there. It will develop and all those things. Yeah. So some of the, I think in India, ISRO, they are developing something like a weapon kind of rockets and things like that. So they said, yes, we are developing it, but we hope we never have to use it. Yeah, that is a responsible thing.
Right.
Because if you don't have it, you are vulnerable. No, so that is the geopolitics.
Correct.
Yeah. So there will be a lot of development. There will be a lot of AI involvement and things like that. But I feel end of the day, it will not be used. Yeah. So if it is used, start and end will be very quick. There will be no such discussion, and capability will not, doesn't matter, because killing doesn't need very sophistication. Yeah. Saving needs sophistication. Killing doesn't. You just throw something and, it will damage at random. So that is the kind of thing. But so far the spiritual part of it is, context is there. Now I'm sharing with you.
Yeah.
The masters and the spiritual level, they don't allow this thing to happen. Even there are already, there are cases where some of the things some people, they started doing this, like activating something nuclear and all, it got diffused, by intervention of the higher dimension. Okay. It just could not do it. So at that level, if it is necessary, there will be some kind of intervention. And in fact, there are some divine intervention in the major natural calamities as well. Just as for example, you may recall that I think 2 months or 3 months back, we come to know about an earthquake in the extreme part of the Russia in a Pacific Ocean.
Correct.
I think 8 something or high level, very high level.
Yeah.
And that has got a potential for the tsunami. Yeah. So tsunami could have been started from there, and Japan could have been destroyed and things like that. That particular one, I'm just sharing. Yeah. So that particular one was that tsunami was stopped by the divine intervention. Okay. Divine, or you can say that higher dimensional entities or ETs or whatever, if that's up to you how. But it is, those power are not belong to Earth. Who stopped that happen? The mass level, it did happen, but the tsunami didn't happen. Like that, there are many areas where ultimately the weapon may not work. Okay. There is no apparent reason, no? Because those reasons will be beyond the normal logical understanding of those kind of things. Okay, that is to save the humanity, that's all. It's not favoring to this country or that country or nothing like that. So that is the kind of thing. Okay.
Now, should I go to the next?
Yes.
Now, with geopolitical disruptions, we can pray, as you guided us once few days back.
Your individual capacity, yes.
Yeah, in our capacity, we can pray, and we cannot do much on the geopolitical disruptions. Now, in case of AI, if it is destructive, then what should we do? Or we should go with the flow and actively participate, as consciousness has its own plans towards the benefit of mankind at the end.
No, mankind is protected and guided, so there is no risk. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we didn't understand all the factors, that's why we got scared and we think it is beyond control. It's not that. Okay. So everything has a purpose, everything, basically, just to let you know, first let me answer quickly what you need to do. You need to do what is under your control. You have to take that only into consideration. That's all. Okay. Suppose you are saying that our house, the job has been taken by a robot. You don't use the robot. You still employ somebody, human being. Okay. That is your personal capacity. Okay. So you choose that what you think it is harmful, you deploy. If you do that, and that is enough to counter these things. Anyway, now let me tell you about this. This humanity is now undergoing a big transition. Okay, so transition means all old system has to go and new system has to come. Like for the humanity's map of growing, this AI is just a blip. It will come and go as well. Okay, so it's not a big deal for the spectrum of humanity is concerned. So things will come, and as I discussed few other points, they came and they have its own thing, and there is a big thing of Y2K bug.
Yeah. Yes.
It came and gone also, right? There was some concern and there is some impact, but they have not the potential to change the course of humanity. It did happen, something, it's okay. So, or maybe not necessarily it is anything related to the technology. Maybe the COVID also we faced as a humanity, right? So it came and gone as well. So those things will come and go. So again, from the humanity point of view, this is just a few blips here and there. That's all. But only thing is we have to protect ourselves. The job is to protect ourselves. I have given the 4-point. Have you seen our principles? 4 point. Yeah. Protect physically. Earn enjoyingly, live lovingly, and spread spiritually. That's all.
Yeah.
So these principles are, no matter what technology come, what government come, what what is called whether war or peace or COVID or pandemic or not, they will survive because those principles will be there. In fact, the this external world will deteriorate so much that the people will not have any other choice than to look inward, to search the peace, the stability, all those things. They have to look inside, and that is exactly the transition the humanity is undergoing. So far as the extreme harm is there, like a world war and everything will be destroyed, those are stopped by that higher power. Okay, so don't bother about that. Yes, there is a risk, but ultimately it will not happen. Yeah, so that will be taken care of. But so far as if you are in the middle of a system and everything around you will start collapsing because system is collapsing. Then only thing is that I'm just sharing you fundamentally what we are being taught here as a humanity. We have to shift from fear-based system to love-based system. So the fear will be increased so much, then we get fed up of fear. Then only something will emerge out of it. Otherwise, we think, okay, still we can manage, still with this, we can. As long as we are into that stage, our transformation will not happen. So this so-called whatever we are saying that we are leading towards a golden era is living in a spiritual principles. That is the golden era. External world will not change. Suddenly not all the thieves and all the frauds will disappear and everybody will be saint. It will not happen. But people's experience will change. There will be transformation where same world you will experience differently. Some of them, some enlightened ones, they're already there. They are experiencing that. So, because rather than finding out the problems, they find out the purpose for this. And the truth they realize is how perfect the world is. It is completely opposite of the common understanding of the people, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Isn't it? Yeah. So it is going towards that where everybody will experience that by their own experience, not by listening to somebody. It looks like a lecture. Yeah. It looks like a big talk. Yeah. So that need to be experienced. So people are undergoing into that. This is by saying so, it is coupled with something else also. The Mother Earth is angry because we destroyed Mother Earth heavily, pollution and, all these things. Too much. So it is now resetting. So in the process of resetting, there will be a lot of people who have to undergo this kind of things, so like natural calamities and those fires and those things will also be there because it is resetting. So to save ourselves, if we are synchronized our vibration with Mother Earth, we will be saved. But we are stubborn. We stick to hold on to that kind of things. Those kind of vibrations, earlier vibrations, those type of the people will be removed by Mother Earth.
Now we can see the cloudburst and northern India and all continuous flood and all those things.
That is one way. Another way to look at it, I'm now again spiritually speaking, many souls, they are choosing to leave the planet now. Now means from this up to 2028. Yeah. There'll be, or maybe it will go up to 30. So why they wanted to lose now? Because there is too much of negativity, or you can say the end of Kali Yuga. Okay, some masters say it is the end of Kali Yuga before the golden era starts. So they want to leave the body and all the patterns and things like that of Kali Yuga or the this negativity behind. They start fresh, new life with the higher vibrations, with fully tuned with the spirituality or the golden era. They want to rebirth, and that is their soul's choice. Okay, it's nothing like they have to force to go. No, every soul, particularly taking birth and leaving the body, completely soul's decision. It is not accidental. If there is some natural calamity or major accident, etc., their soul have chosen to be there in that time.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the last question by Shraddhanjali ji, that as part of the soul's journey on the earth plane, the soul also spends lifetime as in the non-living things. So when it comes to AI, which is a non-living thing, does it also involve a soul's journey? And if yes, then how does a soul's journey get impacted by AI?
For soul, there is nothing is accident. So everything chosen by the soul. Yeah. Even though I'm talking about the soul's journey, then I'll come to the, that AI is also a part of the soul or not.
Yeah.
So soul's experience. So whatever we are experiencing as a soul, the technological developments and all those kind of things, we have chosen it. We knew it. These things will going to come. Little bit timeline may be different, like some free will is involved. Like a 3V, we call it, the velocity and variety and vastness. Those can vary little bit, but event will be there. We have chosen that we'll undergo this. These kind of things, and artificial intelligence is part of that thing. We have chosen soul level to experience.
Okay.
In that sense, we have chosen to experience computer. We have chosen to experience the mobile phone. We have chosen to, in fact, that reminds me, I have one time, I think 2015, I was asked Babaji that why you are saying so much of turbulence. This kind of turbulence, we have not seen our, earlier generation faced it. Yeah. Like a father's time, so much changes. Yeah. This huge changes, like one extreme to another extreme. So Babaji says that at soul level, you have chosen to undergo experiences of the three major era. One is the masculine domination that happened till maybe up to year 2000 or last century part of it. Then the shift has happened because at 2012 particularly, that the transition happens from divine masculine to divine feminine. And that lasted about 10 years or so. The transition period, you can say that is ended with COVID. Okay. Transition. And then it settled into the divine feminine. This also continue up to, originally I was considering is 2018, but there is some planetary positions which there is a war and all those things up to 2030, etc. is there. So after that, the actual so-called peace and thing, that will stay for a long time, that will come. So all of us, we are living this planet, we have chosen to undergo the three phases altogether. Like it is the earlier phase, like a last century, then transition period. Like you can say that 2012 to 22, and now maybe up to 2028 or so, that all transition, chaos. Yeah. And then settling the final one, the next one, which will be governed by the spiritual principles, that one. In this transition period, those who were chosen that to see the third part of it will be drawn into spirituality. Okay. They will learn spirituality. They will be guided. There will be things. This is the part of the transition period. If you see, the most of the people, they will come into under the something or other, some of understanding and practices of spirituality. Why? Because they are ready for the next era, which will be governed by spirituality. All old thing has gone. People who are trying to hold the old thing, the corruption and power and political power, muscle power, money power, those are the people facing most of the problems. Those fights and war is based on basically for them. Their ego clashes. Yeah, so they cannot wanted to give it away.
Correct.
Anyway, but it is our choice. We know this is kind of thing happen technologically, everything, but ultimately it is all leading towards the golden era, or which is a fifth dimensional era, or unity consciousness, and with operating from pure love. Earlier I was mentioning that from the fear-based to we have to go love-based. So we have to, in the process, the whole process is how to make us learn that experientially.
2030 onwards.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, roughly.
Before that, common people will be there. I said 2030, the war will continue. Like multiple war front. Okay. That will continue. But consciousness-wise, it will be already started happening. Many people have already gone into that area.
Okay.
Only they need to protect themselves so that they don't unnecessarily expose themselves to all this kind of distractions. Yeah. Okay.
That was the last question, actually.
Okay. All right. So now let me give some almost time. Let me give you the concluding remarks here. Out of all the discussions and everything, let me give you the spiritual understanding. Yeah. Intelligence can be artificial. Artificial intelligence means the copying how human mind works. Okay. And then apply it into a machine or computer or some system. That is artificial intelligence. Okay. That's why the chance of losing job and etc. etc. There can be artificial intelligence, what human do physically or mentally, that can be replicated. Robot can be developed, artificial intelligence can be developed. It's possible and it is already happening also now. But consciousness cannot be copied. There cannot be artificial consciousness. Consciousness has to come from the creator. Okay. Means artificially you cannot create a soul. You can create a body, you can create a mind, but you cannot create a soul. It is sole authority of the creator. So in that sense, so whoever has gone into the spirituality, whoever has gone into the soul consciousness level, then soul consciousness goes to the universal consciousness, which is the creator, oneness. So to get away with all those mess, you have to go to the consciousness level. As people who are still at the intellect level, they will get hit. But whoever has been transcend that, gone into the consciousness level, this artificial intelligence or whatever artificial will not touch them. Saying so, of course, still people have to be in the physical body. They have to live in the physical world. They need to protect themselves. No doubt about it. Okay. But actually, this impact on humanity, on artificial intelligence, only the physical and mental level. So those who are limiting themselves only in these two levels, physical and mental, they will get maximum hit. Those who got transcend into the next higher level, and which is a consciousness level, they will be protected, they will be guided, they will be finding peace of misery, you can say. They will have the peace, they will have the love and all those kind of so-called the higher experiences, they will experience. World will run on its own and it will reset and all those kind of things. So that is the way forward. So humanity can get impacted by artificial intelligence, and to get, I'm not saying out of, win over this challenge is to go into the consciousness level, which can never, the truth is, which can never be artificial. Artificially, consciousness cannot be created. Even, I'm going to that extent, even the life created artificially, it's a test tube baby. But that baby has a consciousness which is pure. They create a body, but they cannot create the consciousness. In the artificially created body also, the life which came, the spark that came, which is the consciousness. So body can be artificially created, but not the consciousness. Yeah. The consciousness is still the truth, the genuine one. So that will be there. So that is the way forward. So it's all these things are testing our resolve or making us too fearful about too many things so that we get rid of this level and ascend. So that is the whole purpose of this, what humanity is currently undergoing. So with this, I will conclude the session today. And there is not much time left. If you have any question, I can answer that. Hari Om, go ahead.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam.
Guruji, all those people who are presently in this WeAreOne group, so can we safely assume that all these souls have chosen to be part of the third phase?
Oh, yes. There is no doubt about it. I'm going one step further. I said, those who come to know the name of Babaji,
Correct.
come to know the name of Babaji, all of them will be saved. Unless one small exception, if the soul chooses to leave the body now and take a birth in that area, that is the soul's decision, that is to be respected. Other than that, anybody who at least come to know somebody who connected with Babaji or come to know the name of Babaji, Babaji's teaching, Babaji's anything, they will be saved.
Thank you so much.
Okay, God bless you. All right. If there is no further question, let us conclude it for today. Do the Shanti part. Oh. Sarvesham swastirvavatu. Sarvesham shantirvavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschit Dukhavag Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh.